Madhouse Podcasting Network.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Mask. We have a very, very special guest host today, Gloria, the bride from Ghost Town Streets, and we will be interviewing her lovely sister, Naomi. Hi.
Hey.
What is your haunt name?
I don't have one.
So, what's your character? You don't have a character name?
My character's name is Lucy.
Lucy. Okay. Do you?
Yeah.
So your haunt wise, you just go by Lucy, or do you?
I go by that because I didn't want people calling me by my regular name.
Of
so
course.
I'm like, well, let me make a character name for her. So I named her Lucy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So Lucy from Ghost Town Streets.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we'll just get to the beginning of everything. And how did you start working haunt?
Actually, it was because my sister, she used to come home every night, and I was always wondering where she went. I just knew she went to Knott's, and one day she finally showed me videos of the event, and I was just thinking like how sick it looked, and like I was like, I need to do this one day. So I was probably about 10.
Oh,
so
wow.
Since 10 years old, I was counting down the years of when I could finally work. But the whole time I was like super obsessed. I was watching videos like nonstop. So I was just a huge haunt fan. So when I finally turned 18, I started working there.
Wow.
And I actually do remember there was so many times that she would be so interested in like this is back in the day. Like, remember when we used to have all those monster boards and all that stuff? So I would go on there and I would be showing her pictures, and she was just so like interested on everything, like asking me all these questions. And I remember her like coming as a guest, and we'd always take a picture. I still have those pictures. She's like this tiny little kid, and like she's just so fucking happy. She's got this giant smile on her face, and it's just like, okay, I already had a feeling, and I was like, okay, this is gonna happen, and my mom's gonna hate it, and it's all gonna be my fault. And
sure enough, that's what happened.
Sure enough, yeah.
Yeah.
So what year was that then that you started haunt?
I started 2010.
Okay. And where did you go? What was the first place you worked?
I was actually line control in doll factories where I started.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I did that for the first few weeks, and then somebody dropped out in the maze, and they asked me if I wanted to be a monster, and I was like, sure, like this is what I've been waiting for. So
Right.
I took it, and actually that same night, that was my first night, TPA was coming through, and I was super nervous because I already knew, like, I've been watching the videos. I'm like, great, this is my first time. I'm gonna look stupid, but it was cool.
That's cool.
No, I was just remembering like her first year. This is back in the day, like when people would camp out to get like their elusive spots. And
Yeah.
I remember she wanted me to go with her because she didn't want to go by herself. And I was like, of course I'm going to go with you. You know, it's kind of tradition. It's kind of part of your, rite of passage or whatever. And so I remember going with her, and I remember like her being like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Blah, blah, blah. And I remember just telling her, just take anything. And she was very open to that, and that's how she ended up being a line control. And I don't know if you remember me talking about this before. Like, I feel like so many people are just so, I need to do this and only this, and they're so closed off. But I feel like those people who do take the chance and just become a line control, become a blackout, they get to see a different side of it. And so when you do cross over to be a monster, like you have such a more like rounded vision of what you're actually doing. And I think that that's honestly been one of the most helpful things, I think, for both of us, being able to understand the way people think and work when you're out there scaring, because people are crazy.
Yeah.
So your first year line control, you said 2 weeks later you became a monster.
Yeah, it was like a few weeks.
So tell us about your first experience being in the costume.
I was just so excited. I remember that first day, I couldn't even get my contacts in. I was struggling. I could only get like one in. I think I only had one in.
You did.
But I was so excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your character was?
I was a kabuki doll in the freezer room. So I was in like the plexiglass box.
Oh, okay. Confined.
Yes. But then,
Nice.
I made my way out.
Yeah, you're like, hey, there is a door out. Let me go
Yeah.
and roam these hallways.
It was a lot of fun.
That's good. And how many years did you do mazes?
I did 2 years of mazes.
Okay. Both Doll Factory?
The second year I was in lockdown.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember
He
that
followed
one.
in my footsteps and became a nurse.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, I left in 2006, and literally within there was like a 5-year gap that I was just haunt. What was haunt to me? I didn't know what haunt was. It was so focused on other things. So forgive me if I'm like, what was that? I don't know anything. And anybody that started, obviously, Naomi, you started in that time period. So I'm like, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
I went back in 2015, and I was like, who are all these people? So all right, so you did. So tell us about lockdown. What were you in there?
I was a nurse.
Oh yeah, duh. Sorry, forgive me.
Yeah. They had me in the nurse hallway, but I mostly broke out and I was all around the maze most of the time.
So you're a rule breaker, aren't you?
Just a tiny bit. Not really.
Well, that's when you have fun.
Not for the intent of bad, for the intent of fun.
And for the intent of making the event better, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And your character better. That's cool. And then after that, what were you doing?
I actually took a year off the year after that, but then I came back in 2013. I went through new hire and I auditioned for Streets and I auditioned for CS and I got it.
For CS.
Yeah.
Was it the Hollow?
Necropolis.
Oh, okay. And how was that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was a toy wind-up doll, so I had this huge key that you could turn in my back.
Oh wow.
I really like that character.
Okay. So when you were that character, tell us about your process of what did you do to create it? Did they give you a kind of a backstory or?
No, not really. They just said you're townsfolk. So I just kind of figured, okay, what can I do with it? So I kind of brought elements of what I did in Doll Factory and then the crazy movements I did in Lockdown. And I kind of put that into this character and then made another doll character.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you create a backstory for it, or did you just kind of go out there and test things out and say, oh,
Kinda. I was supposed to be a toy gift of my sister's.
Okay.
So I was kind of her gift because she.
So
was
this
in
was the
a-
first year that we got to work together in Necropolis. So this is when I was the nurse / aristocrat.
Okay.
And then she came over and she was supposed to be my little toy thing. So it was really interesting. I thought it was really cool. And then back then, that's at the time where a lot of people were able to pitch an idea for a character. So I think that that's really what made it easier for her to create this, which was really cool because in that time, I don't know if you remember, but I was talking about how there was different classes in Necropolis. So she was a townsfolk. So it was kind of just the people who were living in this town amongst all these vampire things,
Right. Okay. And how was it working together? Did you guys work together? Or not meaning
Sometimes.
Yeah.
were you teaming with each other or?
Sometimes.
Okay. I think we lost your audio,
Me?
Naomi. Oh no,
Oh,
I
no.
didn't. No, your
Okay.
mouth was moving and then nothing came out. So you were the a wind-up doll. Did people mess with your wind-up thing? Okay.
No, not at all.
No.
No.
Wow. I would
I
have.
know. I was surprised because you think they would.
I would have. How many years were you in Necropolis?
I was only in one because it was its last year before it changed to Infected.
Oh, and so Infected is whole Camp Snoopy, or was whole Camp Snoopy?
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
Interesting. You don't see that. I went through it, and you can't tell that you're in Camp Snoopy. That's super odd.
Yeah, it was there for 2 seasons, and then that's when they moved it over to Mystery Lodge in, 2016, and it became kind of more of a inside the venue maze.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And where did you go after that?
After that, I went to Fiesta.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I was in Fiesta in 1 year.
And how was Fiesta?
It was interesting. It was different, but
I can imagine.
I got to actually make my own character for that
Okay.
zone because they were expanding. Because before there was only 7 monsters the year prior,
Mhm.
so they brought a whole bunch of us into that the zone, and I got to make my own character, which was pretty cool.
And that was 2014?
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell us about that character. What were your goals for that character?
I just wanted to do something different, and I wanted to kind of like bring back the whole Mexican lore, like scary stuff into the whole zone because I feel like they needed more of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I made La Llorona. I was that for 1 year.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I can imagine. It's a little different from the whole Day of the Dead thing.
Right?
Well,
Yeah. I just did a lot of crying.
a lot of crying?
Yeah.
Did you carry little dolls around?
I didn't, and I was kind of, I don't know. I kind of regretted not doing that, but it's okay because I don't like holding something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have a prop in Ghost Town, do you?
I do, but I have it tied around me, so I'm not holding it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I have a photo, and I forgot the photographer's name, but he took it of you, and it's just you by yourself walking walking the streets, and it's creepy. You're freaking creepy out there.
Thank you.
I really want to see your La Llorona though, because yeah, I didn't know that you were in there.
Yeah.
Let alone looking. So were the only one that looked different from everybody else? Because they were all pretty much Day of the Dead in there, right?
Yeah, they were all sugar skulls and colorful, and I was the only one like in all white. And I got to do skits every night, so I would steal someone's baby because they would have the prop of a baby. So I would come out and I would steal it from her, and I went to the fountain and I would drown the baby every night.
Oh my god,
That was a lot of fun.
that's awesome. And they didn't say anything about you killing a baby?
No, actually, Peterman, he needed me to do that every night. He said I needed to do it, so that's what started it.
You did. So where'd you go in 2015 then?
2015 was my first year of Ghost Town.
Okay. Forgive me, but I don't remember you in there.
I don't remember you either.
Well, I was only there probably not even half the time, but so Ghost Town. So how did that come about?
I guess after Fiesta, I had fun, but I wanted to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to be in Ghost Town, so I just said, why not? So I auditioned for Ghost Town, and I got it.
Sweet. And what character are you in there, or that first year? What character were you?
I was a possessed child then too.
Same
so
thing.
She kind of has been like.
She's evolved.
Evolved.
Okay. And why a possessed child?
Have you seen her size?
Yeah, I'm little.
Well, I mean, I know, but you could have just been a townfolk kid.
True, but I also like that whole demon possession aspect of it.
Yeah.
No idea where we get it from, right?
Right?
Wait, so you're a slider, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Tell me why you decided to choose sliding as a tactic.
I feel like the boys shouldn't have all the fun, and the females, I really want to get females back into sliding.
I agree.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot, is there, right now? Or
not really, no.
I feel a lot of it has been like over the years, there's become less and less. And it's not only just because, we don't want to do it. It's a lot of the times the characters that we're given, the majority of them are wearing dresses. And a lot of the times we're told that we're not allowed to slide in the costumes that we're given. And so even there are, some males who are told right off the bat, like, you're not allowed to slide in this. So sometimes it's not necessarily because they don't want to slide. It's because they are just not allowed to because of whatever character they're in, because whatever they're wearing, if it's restricting, whatever, they just don't want us to mess anything up, I guess.
I'll give them that. That makes sense. Look, I mean, I've always agreed. I don't think everybody should slide. I'm
just saying the bride sliding would be pretty badass.
That would be awesome.
I would rather get Heelys, but I would slide, I guess.
That would be a lot of fun.
Heelys
or like a Segway or something, hoverboard. Tell me that would not be creepy going down Fog Alley.
Just like gliding.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have to do it one night.
Believe me, I'm working on it.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I don't know about Heelys.
I would never do that. What are you talking about?
You didn't hear it here. Yeah, hoverboard would be cool though. Even if it's just to get the footage, just to get it. That's it.
On camera.
Yeah, thank you.
It's 2.5 seconds. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's it. Make a GIF out of it, and with your little light.
And now I got your brain going.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
So, there's one thing that you do, Naomi, and I've always been curious to ask you. You twist backwards and you bend backwards, you look upside down, and you walk. Does that make you dizzy?
It makes me a lot of things. Dizzy
might be one of them.
Yeah.
Because that makes other people a lot of things too. So we just need to know what's going on in your head as you're doing it. Because
I don't even know.
That is some
creepy. I don't know.
Oh my god, it is so freaking creepy.
Thank you.
I love it.
Let's talk about Ghost Town. Let's talk about your very first year in Ghost Town and like how we were saying that your characters really evolved. So between your very first year to now, what has been your biggest inspirations as far as where you started with the character to where it is now? Like, obviously, you've added a prosthetic. Well, it was given to you to use, and I think that it honestly it took it to a whole nother level. And I honestly remember having these conversations with her about the prosthetic. She was very like on the fence about it, and I was like, dude, this is gonna look rad. And I remember she tried it out when we did an event for Midsummer, actually. Was the first time that she wore it, and then she ended up on the sweatshirt with us from that event. And so kind of commemorated that day that she got to wear that prosthetic for the very first time, which I thought was pretty sick. But just thinking about like the look, your mannerisms and everything from your very first year in Ghost Town to where you've taken this character now, which I honestly like, it makes me so proud to see you do that, because it's not something that a lot of people are able to do. There's a lot of people who I've obviously seen in the past 20 years that have, yes, they've been there for a very long time, but they haven't been able to take something from one level to where you have in all of that time. And you've done it in such a short amount of time that it like, honestly, it's one of those things where I don't vocalize it enough, but I tell everybody else. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where you're just like, I just want to see, because I feel like sometimes like when you go to someone, you tell them how you feel about that. I'm not trying to make you cry. So.
I'm not crying.
Sorry. Okay, I was like, I think it's honestly amazing. And so like, honestly, like for yourself, what have been maybe like the top 5 things that you've thought about when you're evolving?
I guess just the look every year, like me getting like grosser and like dirtier and like more weird. I don't know.
Well, I feel that even like you've gotten just way more comfortable, even like with your movements, and it becomes a lot like, for me, I know personally it's a lot of like muscle memory, like after us not working haunt for that span of time, and then the first night going out there, I thought, oh shit, this is gonna suck, and then it was just like it just clicked and you just start doing it,
Right.
Yeah. And that took like a week, because I was like, okay, what am I doing again? What is this? How do I do this?
Yeah.
What noises did I make?
Is there something that triggers you to do a specific movement? As an example, your upside down walking backwards creepy thing. Like, is there something like a guest will do, or is it like a specific distance the guest will be in? What makes you just kind of flip into that?
I guess, from the distance thing, because if I could do it safely without having to worry about either falling over or falling into them or them doing something to me, then I'll do it.
Gotcha.
Or if there's not too many crowds, or just enough space.
How often do you do it?
Not a lot.
I would imagine.
You just were there at the right time.
Yeah.
I've never seen it personally. Well, not personally. I've never seen it in person. I've only seen it on the videos. And I don't know if it's just the right angle or what, but it's fucking creepy. But just you walking out there is creepy. I have not had the pleasure to see you in action in person. That will change this year.
Yes.
I'm gonna come and hunt everybody down, get some footage of everybody, because it's not fair that all these people get to go and shoot the event, and just because I'm 6-7 hours away. No,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean,
We
Weird.
can have all the fun.
yeah. Why you guys get all the fun, get all the freaking likes? That's crap. That's why I went down there this past weekend. I'm like, I'm gonna come and shoot all you guys too.
Oh yeah, you went to the meet.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. The cops broke it up. It was great.
I heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, because there was these two. I guess there were a couple skateboarders that were tagging, and somebody called the cops on them. And then the helicopter came and saw a bunch of weirdos with
Misfits.
fire. Yeah, it was right. It was like
Bunch
right
of
when the
weirdos.
fire came out. So
So what's like your most memorable scare that you had this past season? Like whether it be funny, like whatever, something that you just remember that like sticks in your head.
I remember it was closer to Halloween, and off the floor I picked up that little angel halo, and I put it on, and I was telling everybody how sweet of an angel I was. That's funny.
I remember that. Another thing that I always like to talk about is like, for you, well, obviously we're small and females, so it's always interesting when we're out there and just trying to like, get around crowds and everything. What is probably one of the scariest moments that you feel you've ever had?
I guess every time I'm going down Fog Alley when I couldn't see anything. Because I remember I came face first to someone and my face went right into their chest. And I lost my contact. And I was like, well, this is great.
oh wow.
Yeah, I like face planted right into him, like super hard. Like even the prosthetic did not help me.
Oh,
I could feel that one.
Wow. I was gonna say you must have hit him pretty hard for your contact to pop out.
Yeah, it was bad. Like the fog was just so thick. Like even putting my hands out, like it didn't help me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, and it's like you'll get like a certain speed walking around, then the second you hit Fog Alley, you're like, well, it goes
You
slow.
like start to slow down.
It's like you hit a wall of speed. You're like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm okay, because I ran into all kinds of people in there. Yeah, it's pretty thick. The netting on the top, I think, if they still even do that, that doesn't,
They do.
They do. Yeah, that doesn't,
Yeah.
doesn't help. It doesn't help the situation. But it's nice to get groped through there.
Always. I prefer they buy me dinner first, but
Well, yeah, you and
doesn't
me,
always work out that
you
way.
and me both. It's like, okay, look, there's a bathroom right there. If you want to use it, let's go. Come on. not that I
They don't
haven't.
need to know.
Not that I haven't. I mean, so you have a partner, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys do anything like? Are your characters like? How would I ask? Are they
Like
designed to be connected?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
tell us about that? Like, what's his character about? And
I kind of like our story was like he was kind of like an orphan, like he got abandoned, like lost from his parents, and he was left on the steps of the schoolhouse, and I was just like moseying around trying to like cause havoc. And I saw him, and I'm like, well, I'm taking this little boy. So I took him, and now he's a part of me.
Now they're twins.
Yeah.
oh, so you guys are supposed to be twins?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does your character come from other another character in the town? Like, are you a child of somebody in the town?
I came from one of the witch's demons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell us that story.
So Lucy was kind of like a misfit, like she didn't really get along with anyone. Nobody really wanted to hang out with her. So she was kind of gifted this teddy bear to like keep her company. And when the curse hit, the spirit that was inside the bear came out and possessed her.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a haunted bear she was gifted, but she had no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who gifted it to her?
Her mother. Yeah.
There's a twist. Who's her mother? Sorry, I'm just going to keep asking questions until we get to the bottom of it.
Right?
It's a mystery.
I haven't thought about that actually.
Better get on that.
I know.
Then you could have answered the question.
Right? I know. I need to. I'll let you know.
That'll be in part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so your partner, you guys are twins. Do you guys do anything out there on the streets that tell your story that you're twins, or like are there any dual scares that you guys do? Like, does he serve a purpose for you and vice versa?
Yeah, so sometimes when we walk down Fog Alley or walking on Schoolhouse Road, we'll hold hands. So we'll hold hands and like we'll do like jump scares from there.
Okay.
So we kind of work off each other, like pinball.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if one of you guys just acts like a plant and then, the other one does the scares, and then vice versa. I know, like when there's sliders, like one acts like one will be a plant and the other one will get the scares, and then switch it up.
Yeah, we don't do that. We just.
I feel that both of their characters like are so great at just kind of syncing and working off of each other, because they're both pretty much the same build and very close in size, so it just works out perfectly. And then they're both wearing the same face, which makes it extra creepy.
Yeah.
And both of them do a lot of contorting and like the weird movements, and they both slide. So a lot of times that you see them, like if I'm in the back, I will see them literally like both bolt out this way and come back in.
Oh, nice.
Like, so you just constantly like just see them weaving out, like doing little like weird like diamonds almost going down the street. So or one will go high, the other will go low.
Oh, nice.
Oh, like it's funny to watch, and I'm sure that most of the time they probably don't even realize what they're doing, but it just happens that way. It almost looks like a choreographed like dance. It's really fun to watch.
That's so
honestly.
cool. So you guys mostly just roam around and just tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't stay in one place.
That's good. And so you're still currently there. How long do you plan on staying there? How long do you plan on being a monster?
I don't really know. I mean, everybody's shooting for the 50th, so obviously the goal is the 50th.
Yeah.
And I guess when that time comes, I'll see where I'm at and see if I can keep going. My body will allow me to keep going.
It's I'm kind of scared for Knotts, man. It seems like a lot of people are bouncing after the 50th. Like literally everybody that I've talked to were like, I think 50th is going to be the last hurrah. I'm trying to get back in on the 50th.
Yeah, you should.
I want to. I definitely want to. I wouldn't go back as Ghost Rider though. I'd create a completely different character if Knotts will let me.
Yeah.
Got to follow the rules, I don't know, man. Another they pushed it back a year, so that's 2 years from now.
2 years, yeah.
By then they'll probably hate me with this podcast, so we'll see. Like, you're telling all of our secrets. No, I'm not saying anything. You guys are. So you're gonna keep going. So any plans or ideas of what you want to bring to the character, or is it something like you're gonna kind of keep under wraps?
I do still want to keep evolving her, so I already have plans for this year of what I kind of want to try to do. So we'll see. So
then I guess we'll move on from that and talk about Decay Brigade. Tell us about that. How did that come about? How did you become part of the team?
Actually, me and Glow helped the team back in 2016. We were street team for them, so we kind of helped at the booth, helped pass out flyers.
We were booth babes.
Nice. Yeah. I like that. It's good marketing.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about the booth babes. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Like, do we have any pictures of booth babes?
Yeah, we can use those for the marketing of the podcast.
Actually, I think we do have pictures.
Yeah, we
quite a few.
We do.
So you were booth babe. So
Thank
how
you.
did it come about you becoming one of their sliders?
So the next year, they started doing the whole story production thing where every show told a story. So they asked me if I wanted to be one of the characters in their story they wanted to tell. So I was like, sure. Like, I wanted to like give more to the team.
Right.
So I did that, and it was like a little bit of sliding, but not a lot. But actually, in one of the shows, I turned wrong when I was performing, and my knee popped out during the show.
Ooh.
So I had to be dragged off the runway.
So this is where I have to chime in and be mom. So this is even going to go back to like even haunt wise. Like, I was super excited when Naomi started working haunt. I was super excited when Naomi started doing stuff for Decade, but being that she's so much younger than me, I've always kind of been a motherly figure to her, you know, and it's just always been like, she's my child. So for me during Haunt, like, I don't care what anybody does to anybody else, but the second I hear that anybody's messing with Naomi, like, I will drop everything that I'm doing, and I'm like, no, like, this is not gonna happen. Or like, or if I hear that something happened to her, I'm like, what? Like, where is she? It's just like my automatic, like, just my motherly, like, instincts pop out. So that year I was actually there at the Knott's booth because I was working the event as the bride. Right. And so anyway, nobody, like, I guess when it happened, nobody wanted to come tell me what was going on. It wasn't until like the very end of, like, I was about to be off that somebody told me, and I was like, what the was it the first day or the second day? It was the first day, right?
Day. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, I think we were driving home together or something. Yeah. And so I remember I changed out of my clothes real quick, and I walked over there, and I was like, what the fuck happened? Because I see her limping. She's got like a cane, and like, I almost lost my fucking mind because I was like, who did this? I was ready to beat somebody's ass. Like,
oh man.
Yeah.
What?
It was me. I did it to my own self.
What year was that?
It was 2017.
It was very graceful the way it all happened too, because I remember going back to watch the video because I was like, I have to see this. And I don't remember it being like super crazy where everybody was like, oh my God. It was like, just the way everything kind of occurred, it almost looked like it was on purpose.
They kind of played it off. That's cool. Well,
I don't know how you didn't flip the fuck out, because I would have. Like,
yeah,
I did it in whispers.
Well, I mean, you usually talk in whispers. So
that's excruciating pain.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gonna die. Like I didn't know. Oh my God.
That happened to me in gymnastics. Mine popped in gymnastics, and that whole gym heard me.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because like every other word was like the F-bomb, and I'm like, there's children in there. It sucked.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can't imagine. I give you kudos, man. I give you kudos for keeping it on the down low, because I mean, I was like, man, it was bad.
It was painful.
So you had this knee. So what happened with the knee? Was it your ACL?
No, it was just my patella. It was like a slight, like tiny. It wasn't really fractured, but they had seen something on the back of it, but it wasn't too bad.
Did you have to have surgery?
No.
Oh.
They said if it happened again, I would.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I remember ever since then, every time that she was like, I'm gonna slide, I was like, you're gonna what? No, you're not.
So
come out like
no. Have you since then, are your slides a little bit more careful?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think twice every time I slide. I get super hesitant.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
My first slide back in 2015 as a monster was the most embarrassing thing, and luckily I was the only one that saw it. And there was two factors of it. One was my knee. I was still it was still popping out of place and having issues. And then two was, well, three factors. Two was the ground. I didn't expect it to be that stiff.
Hard. Yeah.
And then three,
rough patch.
Yeah.
And three, I was just fat and out of shape. So
that'll do it.
Yeah, it was a brutal trio, and I was like, damn, am I going to survive this season? And at that time, I was going to be there a lot, and I kind of walked it off and looked around like, yeah, cool. No one saw me.
It's one of those things where you walk it off and then later you're like, fuck, that hurt. Because I actually, when I was in the Deadly Seven, they had us all sliding. Well, they wanted us all to slide.
Right.
And so we all had to wear knee pads. And yes, we did slide. But it was more of a, for me, I was always more character than I'm going to just run around sliding, because that's never kind of been me at all. Like, yes, I can slide if I want to, but not really my thing. So I would always make sure to take my couple of slides a night just so I could be like, yeah, I'm sliding, whatever. But I do remember also I took a slide and I felt something pop in the back of my calf. And I remember like jumping up and then being like an automatic, like, what the fuck is that? Because my whole leg just started burning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and luckily it was like at the very end of the run, because it just like every time I would step down, it would just like feel like a popping and it just burned. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, sliding is not worth it.
It looks cool, but you pay for it.
Yeah. So your main role in the Decay Brigade then would be a character, basically.
Now, not so much, but
Okay.
yeah, then yeah.
Okay. Are you? I mean, they're obviously minus COVID and all that stuff. When they come back for shows, are you still going to participate in the shows?
I am.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. I'm sure you guys are working on stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saw your post, so I was like, "Ooh, good things are coming."
Yeah, it's starting. I can't believe it's here, but yeah, it's starting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's talk about your modeling. You do a lot of modeling. Ah, I threw you off,
I'm
huh?
like, why?
You're just like, oh, huh? We're done. Cool. Let's go. No, yeah, modeling. I dig the stuff that you do. Tell us about that. Like, you work with all kinds of photographers, right?
Yeah, they started reaching out to me, like a whole bunch of different ones. I think they came across my work and wanted to work with me. I've been working with the same makeup artist though. She does all of my looks.
Who is that?
Her name's Brittany Moody.
Is she moody?
A little bit.
She's probably like one of the sweetest people you've ever met. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always the ones that have that type of last name is like the complete opposite of their last
Yeah.
name. When they ask you to do something, is it like they say, hey, just come creepy and you work with your makeup artist and you guys create something, or do they have a specific character that they want to do or theme?
Usually it's us creating something, and we'll kind of let them know what we're looking for. Like they'll find an area to shoot in. We'll kind of tell them the character and what looks good with that, and then we'll shoot.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But it's kind of like my creative outlet, something I really like to do.
Yeah, it seems like you do a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How often do you do it?
I guess when I find the time.
Okay, is it
I'm always
something?
busy.
Yeah, is it something that you reach out to them and you're like, let's shoot, or is
It's vice versa. It's
gotcha?
both.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've gotten different gigs and stuff from it, so it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
No, I was
like,
telling him that
yeah.
like doing the photo shoots is actually a lot of fun, because, you know, also it's a lot of, we like to dress up because it's fun, obviously, but we normally are just one character. But when you're doing like these different photo shoots and you get to take on these different personas or like dress up in different ways, like it's fun to kind of like pretend you're something else for a little while.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pulls you out of reality.
Right.
And you know what? We all need that right now. So
Mhm. Yeah, during COVID, I played a depressed father. It was fun.
oh God.
Just
I was
kidding.
like, really? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
What do you feel has been like overall what has kept you coming back to the event for Haunt? Like for me, I feel like I was at the end of like all these great monsters that were, you know, most of them are gone. And then I feel like it's my generation. And then I see you as kind of like that next generation, that generation's like on the cusp of like us, where we are. So it's interesting because I feel like I've gotten to see two other sides besides like where I'm at. So it's really interesting to see like all these younger kids who are starting to become the people who've been there for so long. Because, you know, before I used to think of, oh, it's my little sister, she just started working here. But like now you think about it, like how many years are you at now?
13.
Exactly. So
Wow.
it's like, it's crazy to think that, like, holy crap, like now you've been there 13 years. And I feel like once you pass that 10-year mark, it's like, what is it that's kept you coming back?
Right.
I
Because
think
I know my reasons, but for you personally, like, what do you feel it is that makes you want to even come back every year?
I think it's just because growing up, just loving the event so much, I just can't see myself like doing anything else. Like I love that place so much, and then everybody I work with and the people that we're always around keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
That is true. And sometimes I, you know, even like the years that I have had to take off or whatever, it is one of those things where you sit around and you're like, shoot, like this is what I would be doing right now or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the minute that you're there, you're surrounded by everybody. It's just like this feeling like, okay, I'm back where I'm supposed to be. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
So when and if that time comes, not to put the fear in Knott's Berry Farm, but when you decide to, hang your hat, is that going to be the end of your scaring, or would you want to try it someplace else? Have you ever thought about, hey, I want to go try scaring somewhere else?
Not really.
Yeah, you just would hang your hat and be done with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Give it a year.
That's an actually really interesting question, because I've had a lot of people ask that as well. Like, would you go and work another event? And honestly, I don't see myself working another event unless it was something that I created myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself going somewhere else. And I don't know. It's weird to think about. Right?
It really depends. Yeah. It depends. Like, it's kind of hard because I had such a bad last year. And just personally, as well as it carried into my haunt run. I had such a bad year. Like, it just left every single nasty taste in my mouth, and I was done with it. And shockingly enough, a lot of the people, I hated the guests at that point. Like, I don't know if you heard my story of like the actual pinnacle of why I left, but I put a 13-year-old boy up against the wall. Because he kicked me in the face, and it was just like I just wanted not even want anything to do with it, scaring anything. Like, I left, and then because I was still doing the Halloween masks the following year, a buddy of mine, Dave Enlow. I'm sure you guys know Dave Enlow, right? He runs he used to run Chamber of Chills in Bakersfield. No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm sorry. Anyways, we did some faces for him, and we went and helped him out at the haunt. It was just like that it just sparked up again. You can see all these people scaring, and I was done. Like, I'm like, I didn't want to put on another costume. I was so done with it, and I ended up scaring at his event, like, for a few nights, and it was a ton of fun. And then the following year I went to haunt, and I was like, fuck, I miss this. So, like, when it's in you, it's in you. It never goes away.
Yeah.
Even when you have a really bad situation like I had, it just never goes away. So, but anywho. Well, I hope that it doesn't ever go away for you, because you're an amazing monster, and I cannot wait to come and see you this year.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Glo, do you have anything else, or should we end?
I think we're good. I think we covered everything.
Okay. All right. Well, Naomi, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we will end it here. So everybody, like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right.
Bye.